So we're going to go straight in today and do a granny square. I've got some scraps of yarn that I want to use up. So I'm hoping to make lots of little squares, all different styles, get them sewn together and make a lovely throw out of them. So I'm going to start today with a 5mm hook. I am going to post a link underneath of where I got my hooks from. They are just off eBay. They were a couple of quid and I think I got 24 of them. Nothing fancy, but they do the job, and that's all we need. So we're going to start off today with a slip knot. So you'll watch other videos online and they will say, oh, we're just going to do a slip knot, and they'll just go ahead and do it and not explain how. It isn't difficult, but I want to make everything as clear as possible for you. So what I'm going to do to make my slip knot is I am just going to make a cross with my yarn. I'm then going to put my fingers through the loop of my cross and just pull through the working yarn. So I'll show you that again. I'm going to make a cross and then I'm going to pull through my working yarn. You should now be able to slip this onto your hook and adjust accordingly. Now, for our granny square, we're going to start with a chain of 5. So what we're going to do for this is we're going to take our working yarn and we are going to wrap this around our hook. Show you again, we're just going to wrap this around our hook. We're then going to pull this through the loop that was on our hook. So we're going to do that again because we want to do it 5 times. We're going to take our working yarn, wrap it around our hook and just pull it through the loop that's on the hook. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. You should now have a chain of 5. So the next step, we're going to go to our first chain. So that's the first chain you made. And we're going to place our hook into that first chain. So we're just going to go into there with our hook. Okay. We're now going to take our working yarn and wrap that around our hook. A bit fiddly when it's so small, so we're going to wrap it, do it like this, might be a bit clearer, around our hook. And we're going to pull that through both loops on your hook. Okay, if you need to pause, rewind, then go and do that now. You should now have something that looks like this. Okay, so our 5 chains are now all attached together to make a full loop. Now for this granny square, we're going to be working with double crochets. So for our first double crochet, we actually want to do chain 3. So just like you did before, we're going to chain 3. So wrap around, pull through, 1, 2, 3. This chain is going to count as our first double crochet. Okay, so that'll be our first double crochet. Now, we're going to create our first double crochet. If you need to go back and re-watch anything, do so now. So for our first double crochet, we're going to wrap our yarn around our hook. We're then going to place our hook into the center of the circle you created. So we're going to go into the center of the circle. We're then going to use our yarn again, wrapping it around our hook and pulling it back through the center of that circle. You should now have 3 loops on your hook. We're now going to take our working yarn again and wrap that around our hook. We're going to pull that yarn through 2 of the loops on your hook. So that should leave 2 hook loops on your hook. We're then going to wrap our yarn again and pull through the 2 loops left on the hook. You've just created your first double crochet. So we're going to do that again. We're going to wrap our yarn, our working yarn, around our hook. And then going to take our hook and place again through the center of the loop you created. We're then going to take our working yarn and wrap around our hook again. Pull that back through the center. So exactly the same as last time, you should have 3 loops remaining on your hook. We're now going to take our working yarn again and wrap around our hook. You're going to take that and pull it through the first 2 loops. This should leave 2 loops on your hook. You're now going to wrap around again and pull through the 2 remaining loops. Now, as I said, the chain 3 you done at the beginning of that stitch counts as one of your double crochet. So you should have 1, 2, 3. We're now going to make a corner because we're making a square, so we're doing a corner, and that is the same as what you've done at the beginning with your chains. So we're going to chain 1, 2. We're then going to work 3 more double crochets into the center of your piece. So the same process as before, wrap around through the center and pull out, 3 loops on our hook, wrap around and work through the first 2 loops. Wrap your working yarn again and go through the 2 remaining loops. We're going to do this 3 times, so we don't need to chain this time. We are putting 3 double crochets into the center of our piece. If you need to pause, rewind or slow down, do so now. 2, 3. So your piece should now look something like this. Here's our corner, our first 3 double crochets and our second 3 double crochets. Again, we're going to make another corner. So chain 1, chain 2, and we're going to work again 3 double crochets into the center of our piece. Wrap around, 1, 2, 3. Same again to create our corner, chain 2 and 3 double crochets into the center of our piece. 1, 2, 3. So we are now going to chain 2 as before, creating our last corner. Now we're going to go back to, we should be back at the chain 3 you created first of all. And what we're going to do here, so we are going to count 1, 2, 3. We're going to go into the top of your chain 3. So you can take your hook and you're going to go straight through the top of your chain 3. You're now going to take your working yarn around your hook and pull that back through. But you're not just pulling through your chain 3 there, we're going to carry on pulling it through just like so. So you should now have something, see your corners there, that looks a little bit like this. So we're going to move on to the next round, and what we're going to do is to start, we're going to chain 3 again, okay, only because we're starting, so we're going to chain 3, and this is going to count as your first double crochet of this round. So we're chaining again, 1, 2, 3. Now to keep our corners where they are, to keep an eye on everything and be able to start in the same place every time, we're now going to work straight into this one here. So we're going to work into this one here. So we've got our first, and we're going to now do our double crochets again. So we're going to do into this gap here, 1, 2. We're only going to do 2 double crochets there because we've chained 3, and that counts as our first double crochet. Now we're going to work across here, so we're on our second round. So we've done our first 3 double crochets. Now we are only going to chain 1 because we're not yet at a corner, so our corner's over here, we don't need a corner yet, so we are just going to chain 1. You're then going to do the same again into this corner here. We are going to do 3 double crochet. Same process again. After chaining 1 into this corner, we're going to do 3 double crochet. So 1, 2, 3. Now we do want to create a corner, so we've got 3 double crochet, chain 1, 3 double crochet, and now we are going to chain 2. We are creating our corner, so 1, 2. Now to create a corner, we actually want to work 3 double crochet into the same space we have just worked into. So we're going to do our 3 double crochet again, but into the same space we just worked into. If you need to pause and go back, then do so now. So there is our corner. So on our second round, we've done 3 double crochet, chain 1, 3 double crochet, chain 2 to create our corner, and then 3 double crochet into the same gap we were working in before. Now we're not making a corner on the next stitch, so we are doing chain 1. We're now going to again work 3 double crochet into our corner space. Wrap around, we're doing 1, 2, 3. We're now on a corner, so again, same process, chain 2, so we're chaining 2 because we're on the corner, and then work 3 double crochet into the same space we've just worked into. 1, 2, 3. So we've created our corner. So we chain 1, and work into our next space, 3 double crochet. 1, 2, 3. Again, we're now on a corner, so we will chain 2 and work our 3 double crochet into the same space we've just worked into. So 1, 2, 3. You may be getting the hang of it now. If not, go back and re-watch. So we'll chain 1 and work into our next space, 3 double crochet. 1, 2, 3. Oh. Now, as you can see, we started working into this space. This is where we started. So we're going to finish by chaining 2 to create our corner. And then we're going to find the top of our chain 3 and do exactly what we did on the last round. We're going to insert our hook into the first top of our chain 3, wrap around, pull through both loops and make our slip stitch. So now you should have something that looks like this. If you need to pause or rewind, go and do so now. So to carry on, what we're going to do, we are going to chain 3. Again, same as last time. 1, 2, 3. This again counts as our first double crochet of this round. So we're now going to put 2 more double crochets into this gap here. So it should be on the corner that you originally started on, 3 double crochets. So we've done 1, 2, 3. The way we're doing it, lots of people do it differently, but the way we're doing it, we are starting off on the same corner every time. So now, because we're not creating a corner, we are just going across to this space here. We do a chain 1 And again work our 3 double crochets into that space. Again, chain 1, 3 double crochets into our next space. So we've just worked 3 double crochets into our corner stitch. So we need to chain 2 and work 3 more double crochets into the same space we've just worked in. Chain 1 and 3 double crochets into the next space. Again, we're going to chain 1. So you should be getting the hang of it by now, working your way around. If not, go back, re-watch. It took me quite a while to get the hang of things when I first started. I was very lucky because I have my mother-in-law, so I can ask questions in person and she can show me. Which is why I want to make videos as basic and as clear as possible so that everyone gets the chance to do this. So again, we've just worked 3 double crochets into our corner. So we will now chain 2 and work into the same space again with our 3 double crochets. Again, we're not working on a corner, so chain 1 and into the next space 3 double crochets. 1, 2, 3. Chain 1 and we're back working into our corner. So we will do 3 double crochets. We're going to chain 2 again and work into the same space. Chain 1 So we've now chained 1 and we're back into our original corner. So we're going to work 3 double crochets into the first corner of this round. And we're going to end it exactly the same as we ended last round. So we're going to chain 2 to finish off our corner. Then we're going to find the top of our original, chain 3, 1, 2, 3, slip our hook through there, pull through our working yarn, just like that. So you should now have something that looks like this. You can carry on going with this. If I'm making a blanket, I will make mine bigger. So it's the same all the way round. So your next round, you will chain 3 again. You'll then work 2 double crochets into this gap here, starting in the same place every time. Chain 1, 3 double crochets, chain 1, 3 double crochets, chain 1, 3 double crochets, chain 2 for your corner, and work the 3 double crochets into the same space. Then again, chain 1, 3 double crochet, and so on. So 3 double crochet into each space, chain 1, and then when you get to a corner, you 3 double crochet, chain 2, and then 3 double crochet into the same space you've just worked into. So if you carry on doing that, you can do it, you can make just a square, or you can carry on and make a whole blanket. I will do a video showing you how to change colour at some point, but to get started with the basics, I'd stick to the one colour and just work your way out, get yourself used to how it all works. And yeah, so there we go. So there is your basic granny square. Lots of people do it all different ways. Some people, as they get to this point here, may chain 3 and flip their work to go back the other way. But I've just shown you a basic way today. You can keep it going. Try and keep all your tension right. I've gone a bit tight here in some spaces, which is why my gaps aren't very clear. But it's all a learning journey and we're all learning together. I'm going to carry on with these. I'm going to make quite a few of these and then I'm going to try some squares and some different patterns. And I look forward to putting them all together and hopefully having a nice big piece come the end of it. Thanks for watching, guys. Make sure you subscribe, give us a like and a follow. And we'll see you again soon with another tutorial.